Veterans Day Parade is an annual tradition here at the fair.
Hi, I'm Kelly. I'm the secretary.
I'm Nathan Wilson.
And I am Emily. I am also secretary.
I am the operations executive administrator.
Mike Olson, I'm the legislative liaison for the Iowa Department of Veterans Affairs.
I'm Darlene McMartin with the Commission of Veterans Affairs as the chair this year.
Backstage with Gavin Sandvig of the IDVA. Gavin, tell a little bit about how hard you've been working this morning.
Well, we got a canopy set up with a bunch of information about the Iowa Veterans Cemetery, benefits for state and federal benefits for our veterans. We're right alongside the VA, so we got all this information for our veterans just on display today. So we did that this morning. My guys are back there helping set up with the staging area for all the vehicles. We got 25 minutes and it's go time, so we're ready to go for the parade.
All right, thank you, Gavin. I'm here with Jackie Schmelin. Hi, Jackie.
Hey, good morning.
Tell about what your day has been like this morning preparing and what's ahead of you here at the State Fair.
So this is absolutely incredible. We are getting ready for the largest Veterans Parade at the Great Iowa State Fair ever, as we are going to be selling America 250 and veterans, those currently serving from all corners of our great state of Iowa. So blessed as the Iowa National Guard has the amazing opportunity to work with the Iowa Department of Veterans Affairs to put on this parade. So we've been running around making sure people are in place, getting the stage set up, everything ready to go. And I have the incredible opportunity of emceeing this amazing parade, but also singing the national anthem. So this has been an honor for me for the last couple of years, and excited to do it again this year with a record number of entries. And this year, for the first time ever, the Iowa Army National Guard performing a flyover during the parade. Okay.
Hello, Brigadier General Clint Barnes. I'm the Commanding General for 103rd Expeditionary Sustainment Command, headquartered in Des Moines, Iowa. 7,000 reserve soldiers spread across 8 different states, but our headquarters is here in Des Moines. And this is my aide, Captain Hal Berger.
Hi, it's Captain Berger here, and it's a beautiful day for a parade. I'm really excited to see how it goes.
We're looking forward to it. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your service. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for protecting our country.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your support. God bless.
Hi, I'm here with Sergeant Alex Dinkla with the Iowa State Patrol.
You know, this is a great day. We are here to honor the men and women that have given a lot to the state of Iowa and our country. And so with the Iowa State Patrol, if we can just be a small part of this parade, a small part in honoring the men and women that have served our country, it is our honor to be able to represent the Iowa State Patrol and these men and women that have given a lot to the state of Iowa.
Well, thank you for being here today, Sergeant Dinkla. We appreciate your service, appreciate your protection, and very glad to see you here today at the Iowa State Fair for the Veterans Parade.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. I'm going to just do a little B-roll of your badge. And your name. Awesome. Iowa State Patrol.
And this year's Veterans Parade Joint Color Guard. And special thank you to the Wells Fargo Veterans Resort Group volunteers for carrying our ceremonial garrison flag. And welcome Wells Fargo veterans, the Military Warrior Support Foundation, and the proud Iowa veteran recipient of a free vehicle donated before the parade by Wells Fargo and Lithia Honda Nissan of Ames. Once again, we want to say congratulations to Brandon John Burhow Gall.
I just want to say thank you again for your service and invite you to say a few words.
All right. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who's helped put this together. Wells Fargo, Nissan, Ames, like just how wonderful all the people have been to meet and to shake hands with. It's just truly a blessing to be able to represent a veteran community up here and acknowledge how wonderful it is and how great of a gift this is going to be for our family. We actually drove down here a lot over the summer for travel baseball. We had a little Subaru, but we have catcher's gear, bats, bags, and a bunch of people. And the brake light keeps blinking, so there's no cruise control. So it's quite a bit of an upgrade. So thank you very much. I just want to, what a blessing.
Thank you, Brandon. Yeah, I just wanted you to see this incredible family.
Today we get to honor Corporal Brandon Burhalgall, United States Marine Corps. Brandon is a North Iowa kid, grew up in Clemmy and Ventura, and in the spring of 2001, the end of his senior year of high school, Brandon went along with a friend to a recruiting office, and something about the challenge of becoming an infantry Marine caught hold of him. He enlisted that August. Just weeks into boot camp, the September 11th attacks happened, and the country he just signed up to defend was suddenly at war. Brandon deployed twice to Iraq with Charlie Company, 1st Battalion, 5th Marines, and on the front lines during Operations Iraqi Freedom 1 and 2. On April 5th, 2004, his Humvee was struck by an IED. 4 Marines in his squad were killed that day. Brandon and his driver were the only 2 who survived. He recovered from his injuries at Walter Reed, and then he did something that says a lot about who he is. He went back. He returned to Camp Pendleton and served as a Marine instructor, training the next generation. Before completing his active duty service in August 2005, he came home with a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star with Combat V, among other awards on his chest, and with 4 names he still carries with him. Today, Brandon works for our Iowa veterans as a veteran service representative. He and his wife Maggie have been together 24 years and married 19 of them. They're raising 3 kids, Peyton, Hudson, and Emerson. And if you know this family, you know their weekends belong to football fields, baseball courts, and baseball diamonds. Basketball courts, I should say. Brandon coaches his boys, supports his daughter's music, volunteers with his church, and still finds times for the VFW and the Mason City Gun Club. He spends his life showing up for other people's kids the same way he showed up for the Marines beside him. A family like Brandon's needs a vehicle that can keep up with them, and as I like to call it, a mobile locker room. One that gets 3 kids to their gear and their gear safety to practices, games, and tournaments across the state. And today, we are able to hand him the keys free and clear, thanks to Wells Fargo, Lithia Nissan of Ames, and the Military Warrior Support Foundation. So Brandon and your family, on behalf of the state of Iowa, thank you for your service, and thank you for the way you keep showing up for your family and your community. Congratulations to Brandon, Maggie, and the whole family. God bless you.
As we are now at Parade Halt, if you aren't already, please stand, if you are able, for the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. and the First Sergeant Trey Marcellus. Today's drum major is Staff Sergeant David Kirchill. The 34th Army Band is stationed in Fairfield, Iowa. It is the official military band for the state of Iowa. Representing the Department of Veterans Affairs Police Department, we also have Chief of Police Michael Newell, Lieutenant Phil Zimmer, Sergeant Charles Hayden, and CPL Doug Archambo. And once again, our Department of Veterans Affairs with the Police Department, thank you for being here. And once again, your VFW Post 2099. Thank you, Commander William Adams. Today's Grand Marshals are all from the Iowa Gold Star Museum's Living History Detachment, bringing 250 years of our nation's military heritage to life right before our eyes, representing 11 eras of American history from the birth of our nation through the conflicts that have shaped the America we know today. So each uniform represents a different generation, starting with the Revolutionary War from 1775 to 1783, Continental Army represented by Tom Clegg of Urbandale. War of 1812, from 1812 to 1816, U.S. Army, represented by Mike Rowley of Clyde. The Mexican War, from 1846 to 1848, U.S. Army, represented by Corey Cox of Grimes. The Civil War from 1861 to 1865, U.S. Army Artillery, represented by Dave Vorm of Johnston. Spanish-American War from 1898 to 1899, Iowa Volunteer Army, represented by Nick Erickson of Independence, and U.S. Navy, represented by Sam Siegelwald of Fort Atkinson. World War I, from 1917 to 1918, U.S. Army, represented by Ron Crow of Marshalltown. World War II, from 1941 to 1945, U.S. Army, represented by Dave Ruckhorn of Des Moines, and John Crone of Polk City, and Mike Vogt of Gladbrook walking behind him. Thank you, sir. The Korean War from 1950 to 1953, U.S. Air Force, represented by Russ Flattery of Des Moines. Vietnam War from 1965 to 1973, U.S. Marine Corps, represented by Justin Heckert of Winterset. Desert Storm 1991, Iowa Army National Guard, represented by Joe Coons of Ankeny. And also we'd like to represent War on Terror from 2003 to 2019, Iowa Army National Guard, represented by Staff Sergeant Hayden Roche of Ankeny. Carrying the banner for our Grand Marshals was Gloria Gabriel and Oliver Vance, Grand nephews of Major General Samuel Leffler, who was born in Blacksburg, Iowa. They are also participated in the National 250th celebration in D.C. So happy to bring some of that here to the great state of Iowa. You just saw there a 1949 Plymouth Korean War Army staff car driven by owner Larry Ferguson. Again, we want to thank Iowa's Military Museum, the Gold Star Museum. Please visit that incredible museum at Camp Dodge. The Iowa Army Survivor Outreach Services, ladies and gentlemen. As we look back on 250 years of service to our nation, we are reminded that the story of America's freedom is not only one of courage and service, it is also of profound sacrifice. Behind every generation that answered the call are families who serve alongside them, and for some that service came with immeasurable loss. Today we pause and we ask this trailer to pause to recognize this next parade entry. Iowa Army Survivor Outreach Services is honored to walk alongside Iowa's Gold Star families and families of the fallen, spouses and children, parents and siblings who continue to carry the legacy of their loved ones. These soldiers, airmen, Marines, and sailors make the ultimate sacrifice in service to our country and for the freedoms we cherish. Today, we honor all of Iowa's families of the fallen, to include here today as part of this parade, family members of some of the most recent fallen service members. Staff Sergeant Nathaniel Howard, Staff Sergeant Edgar Torres Tovar, both of the Iowa Army National Guard, and Major Jeffrey O'Brien of the Reserves 103rd Sustainment Command. Say their names, share their stories, remember their sacrifice, and we encourage you to continue to talk about these service members so they are never forgotten, their legacies live on, and their families know they will never walk alone. Thank you all for being here today. All right, his grandsons were carrying the Grand Marshal banner, but now we have the one and only Gary Leffler here with America's Patriotic Tractor. A customized 1957 Ford 860 tractor owned by Gary of the one and only Altoona, Iowa, painted to honor U.S. military veterans and the nation. Now for our Veterans Parade host, the Iowa Department of Veterans Affairs with the Spirit of Iowa, Tribute Bell. Please wave and make some noise as we always love to welcome the Iowa Veterans Home residents out of Marshalltown. We love it when we can bring them to incredible events like this. They're inside, they can see you. Wave those hands. The Iowa Veterans Home cares for 374 veterans, including 1 World War II vet, 28 Korean War vets, 199 Vietnam vets, and 83 peacetime vets. Make some noise for your Iowa Veterans Home. We also have our Central Iowa Veterans Affairs celebrating, yes, 250 years of service. Right behind them, we want to say thank you to our Parallels Veterans of America Iowa chapter. Thank you for being here, and thank you, chapter president Scott Miller. As the secretary just said, this is a large chapter, sir, and we're very honored by that. Keep it going for the Paralyzed Veterans of America Iowa chapter. members of the USS Iowa SSN 797. Hello! The model submarine that is coming up behind them represents the new nuclear submarine USS Iowa SSN 797. The float is carrying submarine sailors and guests. Thank you. And now we have the Iowa Civil Air Patrol. We have their color guard from the Des Moines Composition Squadron. For more information about the Civil Air Patrol, visit gocivilairpatrol.com. I believe I see that Secretary of State Paul Pate right there in front. Soldiers of our 103rd Expeditionary Sustainment Command, Army Reserves out of Fort Des Moines, Iowa. The 2025 recipient of the Secretary of Defense's National Freedom Award. Ladies and gentlemen, we say thank you once again to all businesses who support veterans, but today specifically, thank you, Graham Construction's Veteran Resource Group, Valor. Legion Commander Kurt Kolash and VFW Commander Nolan Forsyth from Oskaloosa, Iowa. These posts have participated in the parade every year since it started, so thank you American Legion Post 34, VFW Post 2237. Retired Army combat veteran Darnell Jones, wife Sonia of 24 years with her family and grand dudes. Darnell served 26 years in the Army, then worked for 10 years at the Des Moines VBA, serving veterans and their families, and today is so excited to be a part of today's parade. Thank you, Darnell Jones and family. Vets, Post 2 in Des Moines and Post 218 from Benton. Proud to be here in today's Iowa Veterans Parade. Mid-American Energy Company and Berkshire Hathaway Energy Renewables Veteran Employee Resource Group with their 1942 M2 half truck. Thank you, Mid-American Energy and Berkshire Hathaway Energy Renewables. From Independence, Iowa, and American Legion Post number 30. Thank you for being a part of today's parade. You hear the revving up of the motors. You know what that means. Iowa American Legion veterans and Legion auxiliary members who are members of the American Legion Riders representing various posts across the state of Iowa. They dedicate themselves to the success of the American Legion, knowing that through their efforts, they can make a difference. to our vets and supporting our troops. The American Legion Department of Iowa Commander Don DeCock for 2026 and 2027. He has been a Legion member for 20 years with the leadership at post and district levels. His focus this year is respect of and responsibility towards all veterans who call Iowa their home and supporting all veterans organizations. Thank you, Department of Iowa Commander Don DeCock of 2026 and 2027. Judy Ring is the American Legion Auxiliary Department of Iowa President for 2026-2027, this second band. She has been a dedicated supporter for over 20 years and has had leadership roles at the local, county, and department levels. Her theme this year is focus on family, and her goal is to raise funds to support veterans facilities. Thank you, Legion Auxiliary Department of Iowa President Judy Ring. And how about the American Legion family, including members of the American Legion Auxiliary, and the Sons of the American Legion. Thank you for being here today. How about we say hello to Iowa's youngest VFW post, that's 12208, with the newest VFW post auxiliary in Altoona, Iowa, with Timothy Brandon Lay. Thank you for being here and being the future. Supporting and presenting the Guardian Response Unit, proudly operated by the Salute to the Fallen Foundation. The GRU is a one-of-a-kind mobile response unit dedicated to serving veterans, active duty military, first responders, and families. Built from a former ambulance, the Traveling Support Center brings mental health resources, peer support, family assistance, and hope directly into communities across Iowa. The mission is simple but powerful, honoring those who serve while helping fight the battles that cannot always be seen. Please join us in welcoming the Guardian Response Unit. Happy to say welcome to Harold E. Smith, American Legion Post number 54 in Victor, Iowa, under Commander Kevin Shopbo. Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 490, trailer with veterans and family members under President Roger Elio. Hey, how about welcoming the Iowa Department of Veterans Affairs Women's Veteran Program, supported by a dedicated, all-volunteer group of women advocates. This program ensures that the women who have proudly worn our nation's uniforms receive the support and benefits they earn. We pay tribute to all veterans, past and present. Thank you, Iowa Department of Veterans Affairs Women's Veteran Program. Chapter 53, Disabled American Veterans are celebrating 75 years of service to Iowa veterans and their families and are dedicated to their single purpose, empowering Iowa veterans to lead high-quality lives with respect and dignity. They accomplish this by ensuring that Iowa's veterans and their families can access the full range of benefits available to them fighting for America's injured. And with some very patriotic music making their way down Grand Avenue, American Legion Post 89 from Pella dedicates this float to all veterans of all wars and conflicts. Those riding the float are veterans along with their families. Thank you to American Legion Post 89. Confidential counseling and referral services to combat around the Grand Concourse. Vet centers with the mobile vet centers are here to connect with veterans and provide camaraderie with other veterans in the community. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the vet centers of the Department of Veterans. Once again, thank you to the Department of Veterans Affairs for making today possible.
Thank you.
The Iowa Sons and Daughters of Pearl Harbor survivors are carrying a banner representing their organization today. A memory board is being pulled which has several pictures of Iowa Pearl Harbor as well as those who supported Pearl Harbor on that attack. Thank you to the Iowa Sons and Daughters of Pearl Harbor survivors. American Legion Warrant Post number 165 out of Indianola, Iowa. Thank you for being here today, part of the Veterans Day Parade. Disabled American Veterans Thrift Store, owned and operated by Chapters 20 and 53 of the Disabled American Veterans, Department of Iowa. Thank you for being here today. Please welcome the Des Moines Branch NAACP Veteran Affairs and Armed Services Committee Chairperson Bradford Woods and Branch Vice President Arnold Woods. Members are pleased to offer thanks to all men and women who have served our country in times of war and peace, and we say, God bless. Home Base Iowa's vision is to make our state the top choice for past and present service members. Today we march to honor Iowa's fallen heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice this past year. As we honor their memory and all who came before them, HBI remains committed to connecting all veterans to new careers, welcoming communities, and a place they can call home. Thank you to Home Base, Iowa. And here they come, Home Base, Iowa, walking on through. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And along with them, we don't want to miss out on this incredible tractor trailer, Morrison Trader, American Legion Post 296, Deep River Post Commander Gary Quinlan, also Iowa Department Vice Commander. Others on the float consist of several commanders and past Iowa Department Commander Randy Johnson. Thank you, American Legion Post 296. Right behind them, VA Central Iowa Healthcare System Whole Health Program. Thank you for being here and representing today. We want to say thank you to those that are representing the Pacific War. They are representing here today, along with American Legion Post 53 from Grinnell, Iowa. Highland Park American Legion Post number 374, going strong. And we appreciate you being here today with our Veterans Day Parade. Larry Nearing, Detachment 103, Marine Corps
the need for no. I got mine. I know, right? Yeah. Getting busy. I'm like, ugh.
making their way down Grand Avenue representing VFW Post 1899 from Lake City. This truck and trailer driven by Steve Streeter, Commander. Thank you, VFW Post 1899. Veterans John Riley, Terry Schleisman, Don Sprinoli, and Bob Schreck were drafted into the Army in July of 1967 at Fort Des Moines. After basic training at Fort Campbell, they all served overseas and returned safely to Des Moines to marry, work, and establish families. In 2017, 50 years after being drafted, they reunited and have ridden in every single Iowa State Fair Veterans Day Parade since. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here today, and thank you for your service. American Legion Post 403 in Van Meter is home of the Veterans Reception Center. They take pride in supporting the families of all veterans who are being interred at the Iowa Veterans Cemetery by providing complimentary meeting space for the family's celebration of life venue. Post 403's Honor Guard performs an average of 8 funeral honors per week at the veterans and local cemeteries. Union Veterans Council, AFL-CIO, connecting veterans with good jobs through programs such as Helmets to Hard Hats, UA Veterans in Piping Program, Smart Heroes, and Painters and Allied Trades Veterans Program, IBEW Veterans Electrical Entry Program, and USPS Veterans Preference. Give it up for the Union Veterans Council, AFL-CIO. Next we have American Legion Post 682 from the great city of Altoona, Iowa. And this gentleman walking right here is Jim Oliviero. He is a U.S. Marine representing the Cedar Rapids Freedom Foundation. Thank you for representing Jim, and thank you for being here today. Coming up next, Von Duran, American Legion Post 396, and Sons of the American Legion Squadron. Thank you for being a part of our parade here today. American Legion McNiff Post 389 in Hampton, Woodbury County. Post Commander Trish Thiessen, Past Commander Danny Brandt, Secretary Treasurer Skip Welt, and Chaplain A.J. Peterson, and Service Office Alan Peterson. Thank you all for representing and being here today in that 1960s era Jeep. Warriors from Ashes Rising is a nonprofit organization that supports military sexual trauma survivors and those who have survived the effects of associated PTSD. Warriors from Ashes Rising seeks to provide a comfortable and safe place for MST survivors as well as resources to ensure fellow survivors receive any additional support that is needed to improve survivors' lives. And now we have American Legion Post number 260 representing Slater, Iowa, because apparently everything is greater in Slater. Varying group of amazing ladies walking right now. Blue Star Mothers is a group of proud and supportive mothers, stepmothers, and adoptive mothers, foster mothers, and grandmothers from all across the state of Iowa who have raised sons and daughters that answer the call of their nation by serving in all branches of the United States military. Thank you to our Blue Star mothers. Call your mom, they shout out loud. Thank you again to our Blue Star mothers. First exhibited in the year of the nation's bicentennial celebration in 1976. Give it up for Post 61. Very proud to present here today. And please welcome the Iowa Society Daughters of the American Revolution, almost 1,700 women strong, dedicated to historic preservation, education, and patriotism. Today, they salute the brave men and women who have worn our nation's uniform and protected the liberties we cherish. Give it up for our Iowa Society Daughters of the American Revolution. Veteran honor, Ruben Pressler, Ben Movers would like to thank all veterans for their service in honor of 250 years of American freedom. Check them out on Facebook at Ruben Pressler Ben Movers. To anyone needing a grain bin moved, give them a call because apparently they don't monkey around. Have a great day, they say, at your Iowa State Fair. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your Iowa Committee, employer support of the Guard and Reserve, made up of 70 volunteers across the great state of Iowa. ESGR is a Department of War resource for Guard and Reserve military members and their employers, and conducts outreach and mediations in support of USERRA law. They do a lot more than that, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for our volunteers with the employer support of the Guard and Reserve. Veterans Casting Away Disabilities is a nonprofit organization that gives veterans with life-changing disabilities a place to heal, connect, and thrive. They provide a safe space for veterans and their caregivers to relax, share stories, and find a sense of community. It's a one-of-a-kind, week-long therapeutic fishing retreat for veterans and their caregivers to enjoy time outdoors and make lifelong connections. Their mission is healing through the outdoors. For those who have served, they offer a place where burdens feel lighter and hope feels stronger. Give it up for Veterans Casting Away Disabilities. Marine M274 used in Vietnam to transport ammo, pen, supplies, and weapons. This model has a replica Browning 50 caliber machine mounted onto it. Thank you for making that part of our parade. Once again, one of the incredible companies that we want to say thank you for their immense veteran support. Give it up for our Athene Military Veterans Organization. Please welcome Tri-State Women Warriors, a nonprofit organization serving women veterans and service members across Iowa, Illinois, and Wisconsin. Their mission is to provide connection, advocacy, and support while honoring the unique experiences of women who have served our nations. Thank you, Tri-State Women Warriors. And now, representing Milford, American Legion Post 384. Thank you for being here today, a part of our Veterans Day Parade. Proudly serving Carlisle and its surrounding communities, American Legion Post 391 from Carlisle, Iowa. Americans for Independent Living Veteran Resource Group, AFIL. Thank you for being a part of today's parade. United by duty, honor, and an unshakable love of country, these American patriots answer the call to serve. Coming up next, Patrick David Mize, retired from the USAF. Kim Estelle of the U.S. Army, Tony Creek, retired from the U.S. Army, Chris Mize, retired Army National Guard, and Kelly Rivera of the USMC. That is your Patriotic Family Network. Wapello County Army Chapter 1, Disabled Veterans of America and Vietnam Veterans with Vietnam Veterans of America Chapter 667. Thank you for being here from Ottumwa, Iowa. Project Vanguard, Iowa seeks to double the number of veterans working in the energy sector. Project Vanguard supports an all-the-above approach to encourage American energy dominance. Energy security is national security. Welcome Care Initiatives, Iowa's largest nonprofit skilled nursing care organization, serving more than 2,500 residents across 43 care centers and 8 hospice locations in Iowa and Nebraska. Care Initiatives is proud to support and honored to care for our nation's veterans. Supporting in a big way, give it up for West Des Moines Elk Lodge number 2752. We had music to start, and we're going to have music as we come to the close. The Mackenzie Highlanders Pipes and Drums of Iowa. They support military, law enforcement, fire, and first responders. They are so proud to be here today, marching with our friends from the Scottish American Military Society. Thank you to the Mackenzie Highlanders Pipes and Drums of Iowa. And in recognition and honor of the proud men and women of our nation's military, ladies and gentlemen, Wildwood Hills Ranch veterans. To every veteran with us today, to those currently serving, to the families who stand beside them, and to the families who care, thank you. The legacy of those who never come home, we again say thank you. From all of us here at the Great Iowa State Fair, thank you for joining us as we celebrate 250 years of service, sacrifice, and freedom. God bless our veterans. God bless the great state of Iowa, and God bless the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today. Continue to enjoy the amazing Iowa State Fair.
State Fair is a great state.